January 10th. Dear Mr. Philanthropist, your check for my family came yesterday. Thank you so much. I cut gymnasium and took it down to them right after luncheon, and you should have seen the girl's face. She was so surprised and happy and relieved that she looked almost young, and she's only 24. Isn't it pitiful? Anyway, she feels now as though all the good things were coming together. She has steady work ahead for 2 months, someone's getting married, and there's a trousseau to make. Thank the good Lord, cried the mother when she grasped the fact that that small piece of paper was $100. It wasn't the good Lord at all, I said. It was Daddy Longlegs. Mr. Smith, I called you. But it was the good Lord who put it in his mind, she said. Not at all. I put it in his mind myself, I said. But anyway, Daddy, I trust the good Lord will reward you suitably. You deserve 10,000 years out of purgatory. Yours most cruelly, Judy Abbott. February 15th. May it please your most excellent majesty. This morning I did eat my breakfast upon a cold turkey pie and a goose, and I did send for a cup of tea, a China drink, of which I had never drunk before. Don't be nervous, Daddy, I haven't lost my mind. I'm merely quoting Samuel Pepys. We're reading him in connection with English history, original sources. Sally and Julia and I converse now in the language of 1660. Listen to this. I went to Charing Cross to see Major Harrison hanged, drawn, and quartered, he looking as cheerful as any man could do in that condition. And this. Dined with my lady, who is in handsome mourning for her brother who died yesterday of spotted fever. Seems a little early to commence entertaining, doesn't it? A friend of Pepys devised a very cunning manner whereby the king might pay his debts out of the sale to poor people of old decayed provisions. What do you, a reformer, think of that? I don't believe we're so bad today as the newspapers make out. Samuel was as excited about his clothes as any girl. He spent 5 times as much on dress as his wife. That appears to have been the golden age of husbands. Isn't this a touching entry? You see, he really was honest. Today came home my fine camlet cloak with gold buttons, which cost me much money, and I pray God to make me able to pay for it. Excuse me for being so full of Pepys. I'm writing a special topic on him. What do you think, Daddy? The Self-Government Association has abolished the 10 o'clock rule. We can keep our lights all night if we choose. The only requirement being that we do not disturb others. We are not supposed to entertain on a large scale. The result is a beautiful commentary on human nature. Now that we may stay up as long as we choose, we no longer choose. Our heads begin to nod at 9 o'clock, and by 9:30 the pen drops from our nerveless grasp. It's 9:30 now. Good night. Sunday. Just back from church, preacher from Georgia. We must take care, he says, not to develop our intellects at the expense of our emotional natures. But methought it was a poor, dry sermon, Pepys again. It doesn't matter what part of the United States or Canada they come from or what denomination they are, we always get the same sermon. Why on earth don't they go to men's colleges and urge the students not to allow their manly natures to be crushed out by too much mental application? It's a beautiful day, frozen and icy and clear. As soon as dinner is over, Sally and Julia and Marty Keene and Eleanor Pratt, friends of mine, but you don't know them, and I are going to put on short skirts and walk cross-country to Crystal Spring Farm and have a fried chicken and waffle supper, and then have Mr. Crystal Spring drive us home in his buckboard. We're supposed to be inside the campus at 7, but we're going to stretch a point tonight and make it 8. Farewell, kind sir. I have the honor of subscribing myself, your most loyal, dutiful, faithful, and obedient servant, J. Abbott. March 5th. Dear Mr. Trustee, tomorrow is the first Wednesday in the month, a weary day for the John Grier home. How relieved they'll be when 5 o'clock comes and you pat them on the head and take yourselves off. Did you, individually, ever pat me on the head, Daddy? I don't believe so. My memory seems to be concerned only with fat trustees. Give the home my love, please, my truly love. I have quite a feeling of tenderness for it as I look back through a haze of 4 years. When I first came to college, I felt quite resentful because I'd been robbed of the normal kind of childhood that the other girls had had. But now, I don't feel that way in the least. I regard it as a very unique adventure. It gives me a sort of vantage point from which to stand aside and look at life. Emerging full-grown, I get a perspective on the world that other people who have been brought up in the thick of things entirely lack. I know lots of girls, Julia, for instance, who never know that they are happy. They are so accustomed to the feeling that their senses are deadened to it. But as for me, I am perfectly sure every moment of my life that I am happy. And I'm going to keep on being, no matter what unpleasant things turn up. I'm going to regard them, even toothaches, as interesting experiences and be glad to know what they feel like. Whatever sky's above me, I've a heart for any fate. However, Daddy, don't take this new affection for the JGH too literally. If I have 5 children, like Rousseau, I shan't leave them on the steps of a foundling asylum in order to ensure they're being brought up simply. Give my kindest regards to Mrs. Lippett. That, I think, is truthful. Love would be a little strong. And don't forget to tell her what a beautiful nature I've developed. Affectionately, Judy.